picking up on that, Michigan recently received the lowest rating in transparency among all of the states in a study that was done. So I'm wondering how much of an issue that is for you, if reforms would be part of your administration, specifically to the Freedom of Information Act coverage and campaign finance disclosure.
Yeah, Sandra, you and I both know that why exactly transparency matters. Because if you want to know what's happening in the governor's office, good luck. You can't actually file a Freedom of Information Act request, or what's happening in a senatorial office. Under my leadership, the minute I take office, I am submitting my entire administration to Freedom of Information Act accountability, and would seek legislation that opens that kind of transparency across the Senate and the governor's office. That's number one. But campaign finance, I think right now, is the single most alarming issue in the state of Michigan. We watched as the Snyder administration signed into law a set of policies that they call Citizens United on steroids. And what's worse is we're watching as Democrats are using those rules, corrupting a Democratic primary through these vehicles that can take unlimited amounts of corporate money and not showing us where that money's coming from. I am the only candidate on the Democratic side that has fully complied with federal financial disclosures, both Sarah and I, my wife and I. And that's because we believe it's really important that people know where our money is coming from and that we're not bought. I don't take a dime of corporate money. I don't have a 527 called Build a Better Michigan that's running ads that may be breaking the law trying to tell you to vote for me. Anything that I've collected has been from real people, individuals, and everything that you see about my campaign is paid for by my campaign. We've got to get the corporate influence out of our politics. It is one of the worst things about this moment that we're in. And we're watching both Democrats and Republicans play by those rules. And if you want to know who's going to solve it, it's the person who's rejected the rules in the first place, right? If you got there playing by those rules, the likelihood that you're going to try and change the rules on the back end, I don't see it happening. You benefited too much. So for me, I'm not benefiting from those rules. I'm being perfectly honest about where my money is coming from. Neither Mr. Thanedar or Senator Whitmer have done this. And, you know, it shows. Both of them are millionaires. Both of them see politics in a particular kind of way. I don't. I was never supposed to run for office. To me, as a public servant, I saw the responsibility when I realized how much of a corrupting influence the corporate money had on our politics. You got a mayor in Detroit right now who got more money from people who worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield than people who lived in the city of Detroit where he's mayor. Tells you something about whose decisions he's making. And so we've got a real responsibility to bring it back to government for people and by people. And I'm deeply committed to do that, both in the way that I am running and in the way that I'll govern.